IGCSE Physics, Paper Code 0625, Paper 2, Variant 2, May June 19. Today we will solve question 1 to question number 20. Question 1 is same as in Paper 2, Variant 1 of May June 19. I have already uploaded this video. I will share the link in the description. So please, for the question that are same in Paper 2, Variant 1 of May June 19, please watch that video. Next question. Question number 2. Four objects are moving along a straight line. The distance of an object from a fixed point on the line is plotted against time for each object. Which object is decelerating? In option A, the graph is plotted in between time and distance. So this gradient will represent velocity. And here it is uniform velocity. Uniform velocity means here acceleration is 0. Here again this graph is plotted in between time and distance, and here this gradient is gradually increasing, means here we have increasing velocity, and increasing velocity means here we have acceleration. So this option is also not the possible option. In option C, this graph is again plotted in between time and distance, and here the gradient is gradually decreasing. Gradually decreasing means here velocity is decreasing. Since here change in velocity is decreasing, so here we have deceleration. And here we have to find out the graph that shows decelerating. So here our correct option will be option C, because here this graph represents deceleration. So correct option is option C. Question number 3 is again same as in paper 2 variant 1. Question number 4. Four students make a statement about the mass of an object. Which statement is correct? Option A. The mass of an object depends on gravitational field which acts on the object. No, it is incorrect. Mass of an object does not depend on gravitational field. Weight of an object depends on gravitational field. So A is incorrect. B. The mass of an object divided by its weight is equal to acceleration with which it falls freely. Weight is given as product of m into g. So here we can write m over w will be equal to 1 over g. So mass divided by weight is equal to 1 over acceleration with which it falls. And in this statement it is given that m over w, mass divided by weight, is equal to acceleration of free fall is equal to g. Whereas the correct statement is mass over w is equal to 1 over g. It is not equal to g that is given in this statement. So B option is also incorrect. Option C, the mass of an object increases when the temperature of the object increases. Mass is quantity of matter that does not depend on temperature. So with the increase or with the decrease in temperature, there will be no effect on mass. So option C is also incorrect. Option D, the mass of an object resists change in motion of the object. Yes, it is correct. It is also called law of inertia. According to law of inertia, with the increase in mass of an object, the resistance to change in motion of the object also increases. Next question, question number 5. Question number 5. A metal has a density of 8 gram per centimeter cube. A solid cube of mass 1 kilogram is made from this metal. How long is each side of the cube? Cube means length, breadth and height. All the sides are equal. Now to find out the length of each side of the cube, first we have to find out volume of the cube. To find out volume of the cube, we will take help of the formula density is equal to mass over volume. So volume will be equal to mass over density. Now mass is given 1 kilogram. We have to convert this kilogram to gram. So here the mass in gram will be equal to 1000 gram. Now density is given 8 gram per centimeter cube. By solving this one, we will get 125. So volume of the cube is 125 centimeter cube. Now in a cube, length, breadth and height, all the sides are equal. So here we can say one side will be equal to cube root of this volume. Now cube root of 125 will be equal to 5 centimeter cube. So length of each side of the cube will be 5 centimeter cube. And 5 centimeter cube is given in option C. So correct option, option C. Next question. Question number 6. An experiment is done to determine the spring constant of a spring. Different loads are hung from the spring and its length is measured for each different load. The graph shows how its length varies with load. What is the value of spring constant? When we plot a graph in between length and weight, this line, this gradient represents the spring constant. Now to find out the value of this spring constant, to find out the value of gradient, we will use the formula F is equal to Kx, or K will be equal to F over X, where this K is spring constant, F is force or weight, and this X is length of the spring. Now here we have to consider 2 points. We have considered this point as x1, y1, and this point we have considered as x2, y2. Here this point on x-axis it is 8, on y-axis it is 1. So this point will become 8, 1. And here this point will be equal to, here on x-axis it is 12, on y-axis it is 2. So this point x2, y2 will be 12, 2. Now formula to find out gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So same formula we have used here. Now value of y2 is 2 and value of y1 is 1. So here y2 minus y1 will be equal to 2 minus 1 divided by x2 minus x1. Here value of x2 is 12 and value of x1 is 8. So it will become 12 minus 8. Now by solving this one, we will get the answer 0.25 Newton per centimeter. Now 0.25 Newton per centimeter is given in option B. So correct option, option B. Question number 7. A beam is pivoted at its center of mass. It is acted upon by two forces, 10 Newton and 5 Newton as shown. Here we have two forces, it is 10 Newton, it is 5 Newton. What is the resultant moment about the pivot? Moment is given as product of force and moment arm. Now first we calculate the moment because of the force of 10 Newton. Because of the force of 10 Newton, the moment will be in clockwise direction. Now this clockwise moment will be equal to 10 multiplied by the distance from the line of action of the force to the pivot. From this point, from the line of action of the force to the pivot, this distance will be equal to 10 centimeter. Here this distance is given 25, this distance is given 15. So the distance from the pivot to 10 Newton will be equal to 25 minus 15, it will be 10. So moment because of the force 10 Newton will be equal to 10 multiplied by 10, it will be 100 Newton centimeter. Now moment because of the force 5 Newton will be equal to 5 multiplied by 15. It will be equal to 75 Newton centimeter. So clockwise moment is 100 Newton centimeter, that is because of 10 Newton force, and anti-clockwise moment is 75 Newton centimeter, that is because of 5 Newton force. Now the resultant moment will be the difference of these two moments. So resultant moment will be equal to 100 minus 75, it will be 25 Newton centimeter. Now here clockwise moment is more as compared to anti-clockwise moment, so the resultant moment will be in clockwise direction. So here the resultant moment is 25 Newton centimeter in clockwise direction. Now we check the options. 25 Newton centimeter in clockwise direction is given in option B. So correct option, option B. Question number 8. Which object is in equilibrium? Equilibrium means sum of all the forces acting on the object is 0. Here in option A we have two forces. One force is acting on the right hand side and second force is acting on the upward side. So here resultant force because of these two forces will not be equal to 0. So it is not in equilibrium. Option B, in option B, one force of 2 Newton is acting in the downward direction and second force of 2 Newton is acting in the upward direction. Here these two forces are not acting in the same line, so resultant force of these two forces will also not equal to 0. So this object is also not in equilibrium. Here in option C, we have 2 Newton force in right hand side and 2 Newton force on left hand side, and line of action of the force is same. So here the resultant will be equal to 0 and the object will said to be in equilibrium. So here correct option is option C. What is shown in the option D? One force of 2 Newton in the downward and 2 Newton force in the left hand side. So here resultant force will not equal to 0 and it will not be in equilibrium. So the object that is shown in option C will be in equilibrium. So our correct option, option C. Question number 9. An object of mass 4 kg is moving with a velocity of 3 meters per second in a straight line. What is the momentum of the object? Momentum is given as product of mass and velocity. Mass is given 4 kg, velocity is given 3 meters per second. So momentum will be equal to 4 multiplied by 3 is equal to 12 kg meters per second. Now 12 kg meter per second is given in option C. So correct option, option C. Question number 10. This question is again same as in paper 2 variant 1. Question number 11. A force F acts on the body and the body moves a distance d in the direction of the force. Which expression for the work done W is correct? Work done is defined as product of force and the distance d. So W will be equal to F into d. Now W is equal to F into d is given in option A. So correct option, option A. Question number 12. A boy produces an average power output of 60 watt as he rides his bicycle for 2 minutes. How much useful energy does he expend? Power is given as energy over time. So energy will be equal to power into time. Now power is given 60 watts, time is given 2 minutes, but here time we have to consider in seconds. That's why we have to multiply this 2 by 60. So 2 multiplied by 60 is time in seconds. And by solving this one, we will get the answer 7200 joules. 7200 joules is given in option D. So correct option, option D. Question number 13 is again same as in paper 2 variant 1. Question number 14. At room temperature, iron is difficult to compress. At the same temperature, oxygen is much easier to compress. Which comparison of the structure of iron and oxygen explain this? Iron is a solid, whereas oxygen is a gas. And in a solid, the molecules are close together, so it is difficult to compress in a solid. Whereas in gaseous state, the molecules are far away from each other, so it is easy to compress the molecules in a gas. So oxygen can be compressed easily as compared to iron. Now we check the options. Option A, the iron particles are closer together. Yes, it is correct. In iron, the particles are close together, so it is difficult to compress further. What is given in the other options? Option B, the iron particles have a greater mass. There is no relation in mass and compression. So B option is incorrect. Option C, the iron particle can be magnetized. Yes, iron particles can be magnetized, but again there is no relation with compression. Option D, the iron particles have less average kinetic energy. Yes, it is correct. Iron particles have less average kinetic energy as compared to oxygen. But again, regarding the compression, it is not related to kinetic energy. So option D is also incorrect. The only possible option is option A. The iron particles are closer together. Question number 15 is same as in paper 2 variant 1. 16 is also same. Question number 17. The handle of a metal saucepan is made of plastic. As the saucepan heats up, the handle gets warmer. Which statement explains this? Option A. Molecules of plastic radiate their energy to other molecules. Plastic is a solid, and in a solid, the energy is transferred because of vibration of the molecules. So here option A is incorrect. Option B. Molecules of the plastic vibrate more and pass their energy to nearby molecules. Yes, it is correct option because plastic is a solid and in solids the energy is transferred because of the vibration of the molecules. So option B is correct option. Option C. The free electrons in the plastic. In plastic there is no free electron. Plastic is bad conductor of electricity, so option C is incorrect. Free electrons are present only in metals, not in plastic. So C option is not the possible option. Option D. The heated molecule very slowly move along the plastic handle. Molecules move in liquid, not in solid, and plastic is a solid, so option D is also not the possible option. Possible option is only option B. So correct option, option B. Question number 18 is again same as in paper 2 variant 1. Question number 19. Vacuum flasks usually have silvered wall that helps to keep the contents of the flask hot. Why are the walls silvered? Shiny or silver surface are bad absorber of heat and good reflector of heat. Since silver surface are good reflector of heat, so whatever be the amount of heat inside the flask will remain inside the flask and it will keep the contents of the flask hot. Now we check the options. Option A to absorb thermal energy from the air around the flask. Option B to increase the rate of convection inside the flask. Option C to reduce energy loss to the surrounding by conduction. Option D to reflect thermal radiation back into the flask. As discussed, silver surface are good reflector of heat. So it will reflect the thermal radiation back into the flask, and because of this reflection, the contents inside the flask will remain hot. So here correct option is option D. Next question, question number 20 is again same as in paper 2 variant 1 of May June 19. Okay, now we have completed up to question number 20. The remaining part from 21 to 40 we will solve in the next session. Thank you very much.